Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. It is your least favorite boy, SocatoanSoldier. I'm gonna show you a little quick update, no pun intended, about our boy ChrisChan. As you can see, I have a bit of a different setup. You're gonna see a lot more of it on the next stream, but we'll get into that another day. So we're here for Chris. So, in case you're not caught up on the quick lore of the moment, apparently Chris got a visitor in jail very recently. And according to them, Chris has gotten very skinny. We're going to take a look at this page, the Redditor Rutgersville Visit, along with quote of the now and article of the week, so let's get started. Redditor Rutgersville Visit. The dimensional merge is upon us. It has been suggested that this article should be merged with fan visits discussed on the talk page. Kill. Thank you, very cool. Oh god, I made that way too big. There we go. We're not professional, but anyway. Let's get this over with. On the 2nd of January 2023, Reddit user Iron Taipan posted to the r/ChrisChan subreddit. Hey, I'm on that subreddit. Posting images of a recent trip to Rutgersville. The post includes images of what was once the game place, Fashion Square Mall, and some photos of the house. Pardon me. State of the house. A total of 5 pictures were taken of the house, all of which were from the street, as Iron Taipan was smart enough not to mess with Barb. Good. I salute Iron Taipan for being decent. Pro tip, while Iron Taipan posted other images, only the ones of the house are relevant here. Yeah, so no pictures of the former game place of the mall. What a pity. From what I was seeing, the yard appears to have been maintained, though the shed continues to fall apart. Iron was also able to get a glimpse of the trash bins on the curb. A Transformers box and a box of Nestle Purina pet food was visible outside one of the cans. Some trash cans were also seen next to the bins, and by strictly eyeballing it, Iron believes that there's boxes in those too. The Transformers box is noted as being that of the Omega Supreme figure from the War on Cybertron Siege line, which was released in 2019 and identified as one of Chris's. Whether the figure itself was inside the box is unknown. Implications. This appears to confirm that Barb isn't alone at the house, as someone appears to be helping upkeep the lawn. It also lends credence to the theory that Chris's stuff is being cleaned out of the house in the assumption that he'll never return. Chris has not publicly mentioned that this is knowing, that this is going on. Well, let's take a look at these images. It's a very nice picture. Very nice, very nice. It's this one here. I'm positive in the right conditions, that house would be a decent place to live. But it's Chris's, so what do you expect? It wouldn't surprise me if someone did start throwing out all of Chris's stuff. I like to imagine that some of the weens will go dumpster diving in there. That's what I'm willing to bet will happen. Before we move on, there's a little something you should know. bit more about the update, which was posted by Hungry Burger in my server. Barb has over 130k of debt. God damn. Most of which is a mortgage. We read these messages. Turns out Ian's old room is being cleaned out. I think it's a high possibility it is. And another message, he's in the quick field chat on my server, he said, pretty sure the boxes are being thrown out. If the toys aren't, they're being sold on eBay. Bro, the Wheatons are gonna like have auctions on that shit. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised in the slightest. And this right here, this is a good bit right here. They posted it as well. When Snorlax inevitably feels not so good, Ian's 30k of debt, excluding interest on a 3k payday loan no less, will go up 5-fold. I found possibly false and dishonest info on the Quickie about Ian benefiting from living in California. Prime evidence to disprove that claim, Jacob Sockness, and Ian, who will do everything to do things to Ian involving pickles. Oh yeah, definitely. Don't think Ian will benefit from having a comeuppance from Jacob. Plus, Ian's weirdness is different from California weirdness. That's saying a lot. A lot. If anything, I believe Ian would benefit from solitude. But who's really gonna give him a loan for an apartment? His credit is as low as it can go, his debt will skyrocket with no possible way of repayment. He's going to have a third felony charge against him. The first two were the infamous drunken October 28th, 2011 incident. Also, Ian's lawyer threatened legal action against the people posting the letters. He's essentially a zombie right now due to whatever meds they pumped into him. Ironically, back to striped clown shirts. He's basically high school thin right now as well. It's healthier than 50% body fat in one way. I think he even accepted the fact he'll never see the temple again. I think reality really hit him. Still don't see him living past 55. Yeah, I think it's possible that Chris will die in prison. It's a big possibility. Yeah, assuming that the whole detail of Chris getting skinnier is true. God damn. God damn. This is the quote of the now. As soon as he started talking, I could tell he was on something. He hardly did any of the usual falsetto or screeching, and his responses were short. He slurred his speech even more than usual, but he didn't talk as fast. Triple dot. Asked him what he does all day. He said he spends most of his day meditating on the prayer rug, and that he liked playing basketball in the rec room. Apparently got unbanned for good behavior. You know, if ChrisChan is allowed to be in that rec room out there in the jail with other inmates, then that means sooner or later one of them's gonna find out what the fuck he did, and they're gonna make him pay for it. I have a feeling that will happen if he's allowed out to be around other inmates. He gets food from the commissary once or twice a week. He kindly offered that he's been taking fiber supplements because jail food makes him constipated. Also, apparently he's been mixing popcorn into his ramen. Ew. He doesn't even talk to other inmates. I'm sorry, he doesn't ever talk to other inmates. I misread that. From an account by Redditor, trainee Alex, claiming to have met Chris during a jail visit 2023. Thank you, trainee Alex. Very cool. No, this one shouldn't take too long. Unconfirmed. Some things discussed in the article are based on unconfirmed claims. As a result, approach this article with skepticism when reading it. Pro tip, don't pipe this article to other pages until authenticity is confirmed. Yeah, for anyone watching this, I recommend you do so with a grain of salt. Look into this with as big a grain of salt as possible. So we don't know if any of this is fully true or not. As for training Alex, I will certainly approve him as a contact. I graciously look forward to our meeting. Chris, allegedly adding Reddit user Trainee Alex to his list of improved contacts. And this is Trainee Alex's sketch of Chris. This here bears a slight resemblance to Thom Yorke, also undeniably creepy. No, looking too good. On the 14th of January, 2023, Reddit user Trainee Alex posted to the r/ChrisChan subreddit claiming to have visited Chris in jail on the 9th of January. The post included a sketch of Chris, along with a write-up of the encounter and an explanation of how it took place. Highlights from the account of the visit. Chris is allowed visitors a couple times per week, but only if he's personally approved of them, so not just any average Joe can see him. Trainee Alex alleged that in September 2022, Heidelberg had sent a letter to his friend who had correspondence with Chris, requesting him not to post Chris's letters online and threatening legal action if he did. It speculated that may be why so few letters have come out in recent months. Trying to threaten legal action over some fucking letters? That's ridiculous. Chris is reportedly the thinnest he has been since high school. Again, take that with a grain of salt. It's not really confirmed fully if that is true or not. It's not like they're letting you take pictures. Chris is reportedly showing signs of his age, with his hair graying. I mean, yeah, the man looks like he was the man when he was just in his mid-20s looked like he was 35. He has not aged well. Nature has not been kind to him. Chris looks just a tad older than what he really is. Let's be real. Chris appears to have been medicated to the point where it is slowing his speech. Heidelberg seems to have finally convinced Chris to keep his mouth shut. Chris has been playing basketball in jail, presumably alone. Okay, so he's not with other inmates. And was unbanned from the rec room, but still has no contact with other inmates. When asked about when and he'll be released from jail, Chris responded, that trial will be revealed in months. Chris appears to have accepted that he may never return to 14 Branchline Court or see Barb ever again. From the addendum, Chris's behavior during the visit, it was purportedly zombie-like. Chris was clean, though his hair was dry and in poor health. I think he smelled the same as before. Post. Okay, I'm gonna read all this. I took a road trip and visited Chris in jail on the 9th. My friend has been sending letters to Chris since late 2021. He got Chris to add me as an approved contact. Chris is allowed visitors a couple times a week, but only from people he's personally approved. Back in September, my friend got a letter from Heidelberg asking him not to post Chris's letters online and threatening legal action if he did. That's probably why so few letters have come out. My friend never released his letters either way, and never planned to until Chris got out of jail. First of all, Chris is thin. Like, holy shit, thin. He hasn't been this thin since probably 2000, if not earlier. If that's true, then I kinda want to see that. I really hope someone manages to get a picture. That being said, he definitely looks worse for wear. He looks noticeably older. His hair is 100% gray at this point. Not the brown gray swamp it was back in 2021. So not that weird bit of blue or green anymore. Not like they let you dye your hair in prison. But it's still dark. One of his eyes was bruised, which he said he got when he fell, and they had very dark bags. He still has the stubble, unsurprisingly, and it's more visible than it looks in pictures. His voice is thin. As soon as he started talking, I could tell he was on something. He hardly did any of the usual falsetto or screeching. His replies were short. He slurred his speech even more than usual, but he didn't talk as fast. I did my best to draw while he taught, and seemed happy with it. And he seemed happy with it. He kept interrupting me and cutting himself off to make quips like, "Make sure you get my good side," and shit like that. It was annoying. I asked him about the review date, the letters, why he was still in jail, etc., but he insisted that Heidelberg told him not to talk about it. Seems like Heidelberg actually managed to shut him up, at least when he's medicated. I could have prodded, but he was getting frustrated and started to use the whining demonic 6-year-old voice. Oh, that's great. So I dropped the subject. That's actually the only time he got whiny the whole visit. That's surprising. I'll be damned. I asked him what he does all day. He said he spends most of his day meditating on the prayer rug, and then he liked playing basketball in the rec room. Apparently gotten banned for good behavior. He gets food from the commissary once or twice a week. He kindly offered that he's been taking fiber supplements because jail food makes him constipated. Also, he's been apparently mixing popcorn into his ramen. He doesn't ever talk to other inmates. If he did, he'd tell them everything and then they'd kill him. Let's be real. He said he doesn't know how much money he makes from his jail drawings, but I guessed it at around $25 only. He said he hasn't gotten any donations in a few months outside of Prater. I asked him about Kengel, and Chris just responded, "He's the Antichrist," with a smile. He didn't elaborate. I asked him if he wanted to get out of jail, and he shouted that at the truth would be revealed in just months, or something like that. He confirmed that as part of his sacrifice, he wouldn't be returning to the Sanchu Temple or seeing Barb anytime soon. I asked him if he missed Barb, and he said yes. Yeah, he misses eating out that barbussy. I'm awful. I asked him if he still believed in the merge, and he basically said, yes, and it's finished. And repeated that the collective shift was just months away, and that the truth would be revealed. We were basically out of time at that point, so I showed him the drawing. He laughed and basically told me it looked like shit. I thanked him and left. Letter snippets. This post was not taken seriously at first. It was eventually removed by the Reddit mods the following day. On the 15th of January, the user posted snippets of a letter he claimed his friend received from Chris, allegedly adding him as an approved visitor. Let's take a look. Looks legit to me. (0104-202). Below the date is a heart encased by 2 lightning bolts. Ohio censored. Firstly, foremost to the cause of the collective shift, I ? Confirmed to. letters. Letter snippet number 2. Is it just me, or has his handwriting improved? Assuming this is his, of course. The words or close only are legible from a cropped out sentence at the top of the image. As for censored, I will certainly approve him as a contact. I graciously look forward to our meeting. Anyhow. On January 16th, the post was deleted by Reddit mods for unspecified reasons. They're Reddit mods, what the fuck do you expect? Skepticism. In the letters, lines resembling tally marks appear to be bleeding through from the other side of the letter. The handwriting is stilted and messy, but appears to conform to all of Chris's mannerisms and lettering, causing debate to their authenticity. Some argue Chris's medicated status may be the cause of the stilted handwriting, a theory that was supported in the addendum the following day. Others argue this as evidence the letters were forged. One Redditor showed skepticism that the letters were authentic, pointing to the difference in handwriting.
I compared this letter to all the scans of the letters that could be found here, and when seen side by side, the differences are laughably obvious. The ones that stuck out to me was that the lowercase a's in the letter don't close and don't have any tail, whereas Chris's do, which is the same issue with the lowercase n's of the letter. The lowercase y's of the letter all have a left upwards hook at the end, and Chris's y's don't. They just fall straight down, even curving more right than left. The letters in this note are all very widely spaced and have little visual hints that the speed that they were written in was extremely slow and deliberate, much like someone who was trying very hard to get the style right. It actually reminds me of a child practicing handwriting in kindergarten or the first grade, trying to form the letters right, because you see the same kinds of stutters and crooked lines and spacing with that level of deliberation. Looking at Chris's past letters, forming characters is largely not a concern at all for him. He clearly writes in his own handwriting at a decent speed with no real deliberation or on forming the letters correctly on the paper. The general direction of each individual letter is also very stout. It seems to want to stand upright, and Chris's haven't been that way, being more oblong and sharp with a lean to the right, and the type of paper and the use of pencil is a dead giveaway. I've only ever had experience in the most basic of forensic handwriting comparison that you'd pick up from watching every season of Forensic Files for your entire childhood and young adulthood. And with just that I could tell, it's also blatantly faked lol. There's blatantly more discrepancies that I've missed with better forensic/academic logic than I have here with my own comparison. Overall, it seems like a pretty blatant fake. Like you said, doesn't even need to be dissected to this level to be identified as fake. But I know I can't be the only one who's interested in comparing the handwriting to see if it's real or not. If anyone else notices any differences or similarities, if you feel so inclined to argue if this is real, I'd like to hear them, lol.
I don't know why I read it in that voice, just roll with it. Addendum. On January 16th, trainee Alex posted an addendum in reply to his last post, which addressed questions such as authenticity of the letter's handwriting, and announced he would not be answering any more questions about the visit. So last words on this visit, Chris's handwriting has definitely atrophied over the past few months, and I wouldn't be surprised if it has to do with the drugs. You can see evidence of this in some of his most recent jail art. His behavior was undeniably zombie-like. I asked my friend to send some older letters for comparison and the Halberg letter, but he said he didn't want to send anything else. In regard to his hygiene, he was clean. His hair was limp and lifeless, but it was dry and didn't look greasy. I didn't notice him smelling, but he was behind glass, so I didn't get a good whiff of him, so to speak. I'm abandoning this account now because I don't want to risk doxing myself. So I won't be answering any more questions. Needless to say, I won't be visiting Chris again. Thanks for the memories. So there we go. Once again, take everything about this with a big grain of salt, ladies and gentlemen. Now this person, not bothering with that account anymore in order to not get doxxed, I understand completely. I really do. But if even the tiniest shred of this is true, then holy shit, we are in for a wild ride. I wonder, like, what things gonna be like on his next trial, which I think it's gonna be in a couple months. This is all going to be very interesting. Overall, the jail saga hasn't been that fun anyway, but in a way it's still interesting to see all this. It's been almost 2 years now since the Barbussy incident, and I still can't believe that this is even happening. I really can't believe it. You know, like, ChrisChan doing his mom, it's like 9/11 in regards of we remember where we were when we found out about it, you know? Everyone knows where they were when they found out that Chris did his mom. That's just a fact. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to like and subscribe, all the good jazz. I have a Discord channel if you want to join me. Yep, a couple social media things that you can follow if you're interested. And I have a Teespring if you want to buy some sweet merch. I've been updating my Teespring to have some new, pretty sweet stuff that's more up to date with what I have now. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.